Hello and welcome to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. My name is Becca Oaks and I am a craft producer here with Maker's Gonna Learn. Today is Q&A Tuesday, where we take questions from our members and viewers and dive in and answer those for you. We love this. We love to hear from you. So if there's something that you would like us to address in a video here on YouTube, definitely leave a comment down below and one of our members will let us know. Today, we are going to talk about pairing fonts. So when you are designing things for your projects, you might be stumped on what fonts to use. There are thousands of fonts available. Even here at Maker's Gonna Learn in our membership, we have hundreds of fonts, and sometimes it can be difficult to first decide what kind of font, and then if you want to pair with another one, how do you know what to pair? So I'm gonna give you 5 tips on pairing fonts. Now, there are so many different ways that you can look at this. This is just 5 that I feel like are key points that if you kind of start with these in your designing, it will help you create an awesome look. I also would love to invite you, because we are talking about fonts. If you're listening and asking questions about fonts, that means you're interested in them. And our membership here at Maker's Gonna Learn offers hundreds of fonts, so many different styles and adorable trendy fonts that are available to all of our members, both yearly and monthly. And if you're interested in our membership, I want to invite you to click the link below and try out our membership for $1. See what we're about, see how useful and fun a membership with Maker's Gonna Learn and being a part of an excellent die cut community is for your crafting adventures. Let's jump over into Design Space, and I want to show you some practical ways for pairing fonts. All of these fonts that you see here are Maker's Gonna Learn fonts. They are amazing. They're some of our favorites, and I will let you know the names of them as we go. But I want to tell you, our first suggestion for pairing fonts is to choose complementary fonts that have the same mood or feel. You don't want to pair like a bubbly font with a nice script font. So you wouldn't want to pair this font with this font because they don't have the same feel. This is more, like I said, bubbly, sort of childish and playful, whereas this is more regal, kind of fancy, and not comparable with this one at all. So definitely choose fonts that have the same feel. The second thing is to pair a thicker font or a bolder font with a thin font. So not 2 bold fonts together and not 2 thin fonts together. So for instance, you wouldn't want to put both of these together because they're both thicker and bolder. And you wouldn't necessarily, this isn't terrible, but traditionally, I wouldn't want to put these 2 together because they're both thin. So I would, however, put maybe this one and this one together, or this one and this one together, because one is thicker and one is thinner. The third suggestion is to try to put a traditional type font with a script font. So for instance, we have this one and this one. This is a script font and this is more of a traditional basic font. These look great together. And then the same over here, we have a really fun, fancy script one with a more traditional plain font, and they look good together. However, I would not put 2 script fonts together because that is just confusing. It's way too much to look at. It does not look great. And this, honestly, they're both very traditional sort of basic fonts, but because one is thick and one is thin, they still kind of look good together. So while that is a suggestion, don't pair 2 together, it is not always the case. The fourth tip is not to use too many fonts in one project. I traditionally, if I need more than one font, try to stick to the 2 font rule. If sometimes a third is okay, however, you wouldn't want 2 script fonts and then a basic, you might want to do a script and 2 basic fonts. If you start using too many, it becomes confusing and distracting, and a lot of times you just aren't really sure where you are trying to go with a project. So try to stick to 2 fonts Like I said, 3 if you have to have a third one. The 5th thing that I want to let you know is make sure that your font choice is easy to read. Think about the size of project that you'll be creating, and then think about whether or not that font is going to be easy to read that small. For instance, this font is beautiful, and when it's big like this, it's easy to read. However, if I were making it a small project like this, first of all, it's going to be terrible to read. But second of all, it's very hard to read. If you are unsure about the legibility of a project, maybe take a step away, come back, reevaluate, and see if you think that it is legible. If you're still unsure, maybe ask someone else who hasn't been in on the project. They don't necessarily know what it says, so they can give you an honest opinion on whether or not it is legible. Those are very important things to think about. Like I said, those are just 5 of our favorite things and somewhat more obvious things to consider, but there are other things as well. As promised, I want to let you know what these fonts are. This font is called Betty B. It is a Maker's Gonna Learn font that we absolutely love. It's so pretty and kind of quirky. This one I use so much. Actually, I use all of these a lot. It is called Highlight Reel, and it's really beautiful. I love that it's script, but it's thicker, so it's easy to read if I'm doing smaller projects. And it also sort of looks handwritten, which I like. This basic font is called JoJo, and it is a wonderful font for pairing with lots of different types of fonts. Then we have this one, which is called Check It Out, a really great basic font that is thicker. And then this fun, quirky, bubbly one is called Chunky Monkey, and we love it as well. So like I said, if you love fonts and you need lots of them, definitely check out our membership here at Maker's Gonna Learn. Thank you so much for participating in this Q&A Tuesday here at Maker's Gonna Learn. I hope you have found some wonderful nuggets of knowledge, and they will help you and benefit you with your designing in your craft process. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions that you think would make great videos, leave them down below. We would love to hear those. If you are not a subscriber of Maker's Gonna Learn here on the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. Like this video if you like it. And we will see you here another day for another video.